Hello, all. Coming to you live from a chair over here. I've got George Crawley listening in, and let's get to content. So, last week I was given a temp ban for bypassing the chat filter. In layman's terms, that means swearing on Roblox, which is something I never did. When I saw this, I went to the person I knew I had connections with, the mods, Amphasia, and he asked the mod staff what was up. Amp sent me a screenshot of the mod's reply. They unbanned me, and that was that. End of the situation. If this was just a reversible mistake, I wouldn't be so upset. But the problem is, my hour-long ban mistake wasn't just an hour-long ban mistake. If you are banned, all the servers register you as banned. You will still be banned from existing servers even if your ban timer runs out. So in essence, I can't join a new server until a new one is created. And because players can't create new servers anymore, and existing servers typically last upwards of 100 hours before shutting down, I was off Northwind for around 5 days. Now, I don't hate the mod staff for this. The two mods are also the devs, and they put loads of time into the game and the community. I have a lot of respect for them. They create fantastic stuff, but they did just make a mistake this one time. That mistake messed up my upload schedule, which I apologize for, hence the late video, but we move on. So right before I was banned, I unlocked a fancy lantern. This thing was a massive bitch, and I don't ever suggest putting yourself through the bountying pain I endured. But what this means, however, is that I now have a complete set of tiered unlocks. One honed cape, one brooch, one large bandolier, one honed bandana, one hunter's eye patch, all 3 superior tools, and now this fucking fancy lantern. Do I know how much this shit costs collectively? No, I have no idea. But now that I have every one, I can safely say that I am an expert on the topic. So let's get into it. Let's take a look at these tiered unlocks. So James Bay has 2 separate tier systems. You've got the tiered hunting quests and the tiered woodworking quests. There are only 4 stores in James Bay that carry these quests. 2 are hunting stores and 2 are woodworking stores. The hunting stores have the tiered hunting unlocks and the woodworking stores have the tiered woodworking unlocks. All hunting rewards are the same and all woodworking rewards are the same. Difference is, though, that each store offers different quests to get you to your tiers. And so while the rewards are the same for all hunting establishments across the board, each individual establishment will give you a set of unique quests to get there. This video is to identify the quests you want to complete and the quests you don't. We'll start with hunting. Pay Maria Clark a visit. She gives some great rewards, specifically the superior knife, the honed cape, and the large bandolier. The superior knife allows you to skin animals with 8 cuts instead of 10, the bandolier expands your inventory, and the cape looks cool as hell. You can also put a gem on the cape, so have one of those ready. As far as quests go here, I only recommend taking the fur knapsack quest at the end of the scroll bar. I then go to Henry's Hill, shoot 30 wolves, make 30 medium knapsacks, and then bring them back to Maria. Now, once I have my knapsacks, I typically set a timer on my phone and log off, and then every 30 minutes log back on and repeat the quest. After all, I have 30 knapsacks and the quest only requires 3. Completing this quest on repeat is by far the quickest way to get to tier 3. Gives more XP than even the Beartooth quest at the other hunting shop. Do this right and you'll have a bandolier in no time. Next is woodworking. With woodworking quests, you can get the superior axe, the brooch, or the honed eye patch. In my opinion, the coolest thing here is by far the superior axe, which breaks most trees in 8 swings instead of 10. Honestly, I've always thought the honed eye patch was particularly ugly, and the brooch gets just covered by most clothing, which makes it kind of useless. For these quests, your best bet is to chop down rosewood trees and turn them in. This one requires a lot of server hopping to complete, which is why it's kind of dangerous. Once you get to the rosewood tree spawn, all you do is just chop down the tree and switch servers to get to a new rosewood tree. They always spawn in the same locations after all, so if you switch servers, you'll just land on a new one. Or you'll land on a player. This rosewood quest gives the most XP out of all the wood quests, but even then it's still a minuscule amount of XP. For that reason, farming the wood quests takes a lot longer than all the other quests, and that's why the brooch is just so fucking pricey. Next up, we've got our bounty board quests, which are accessible through any bounty board in the game. For reference, there's 2 in JB, 1 in St. Paul, and 1 in the HBC fort. Through completing bounties, you can unlock the Hunter Eye Patch and the Fancy Lantern. Both are fantastic items, and they both sell for loads. I've seen Hunter Patches go for 25k, I bought mine for 24k, and to my estimate, Fancy Lanterns will sell for about 100k. Now, these are a real bitch to get. The Hunter Patch is 38 fucking bounties, and the Fancy Lantern is well over 3 times that. It took me multiple months of constant bountying to get this fucking lantern. These are not items for the faint of heart. There are no tips or strategies here. There's no special exploit. It's either you collect the bounties or you don't. And that's it. There's no advice, I'm sorry. These just take for fucking ever. Now we have our den and our criminal warehouse tiered unlocks. The items these two locations give are the same, but we have 2 ways to get our XP. If you go to the criminal warehouse, you get XP by turning in HBC badges that you loot off dead HBC. If you go to the den, which is not pictured here, you can get XP by delivering crates there from the criminal warehouse. You take the criminal warehouse crates to the den and you get XP for that. Crates give a lot more XP than badges do, so I pick up the crates from criminal and slide them on over to the den. As for unlocks, the Tier 1 Slim Bandana looks like a fucking thong. The Tier 2 Simple Eye Patch is the eye patch that most people get first. I love that eye patch. And the Tier 3 Hone Bandana looks like a pimp variant of the regular bandana. Obviously, the eye patch and the bandana are the highlights here, so I suggest going for those 2, of any. And then, last but not least, we've got our smithing unlocks over in St. Paul. Now, these unlocks are nothing to scoff at. The Superior Pickaxe mines ores with 8 swings instead of 10, just like all the other Superior tools. And the Tier 3 glasses look cool as ever. This is actually the first Tier 3 unlock I ever got, the Tier 3 glasses. So for these, I suggest alternating between doing the Kent quest and the Springfield quest. These are the 2 quests all the way over at the right-hand side of your screen. They both give loads of XP and money, and because you can only do them every 30 minutes, that's why I alternate between the 2. If you don't have a smithing level high enough to do the Kentucky quest and the Springfield quest, I suggest doing the Saber quest. It doesn't give as much XP, but it's still a great start. As a side note, these tiered unlocks, especially the Springfield and the Kent quests, they're a great way to get Prussian cavalry pistols. I'll do 2 or 3 Kentucky quests and I'll be able to claim something like 20 Prussian pistols. This game mechanic has yet to be nerfed, and I plan on taking advantage of it until it's nerfed, so please do take advantage of this. You can get tons of Prussian cavalry pistols through this system. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. I have some other stuff planned in the future. I don't want to spoil anything. We'll have to wait and see on that, but I appreciate you sticking through the entirety of this video. Real quick before we start today's topic, I want to explain my typical loadout on here. A lot of people ask me what I use in a game, and for that reason I feel the need to address my sets. Originally this was going to be its own video, but I changed my mind because it's not that complicated. So my usual set is very lightweight. I've got a tomahawk, a Prussian, and a crossbow. I carry 30 flintlock balls, 30 bandages, 20 apples, and 140 bolts spread between 14 black bolt quivers. This set excels at close range combat and enables me to take on multiple enemies at the same time. These weapons also take up about 40 space total. Because of that, I can actually fit 3 extra sets of them in my bank, which is useful for getting dried. I only use iron pine logs, which means I can replenish my entire store of 4 sets in just under 30 minutes. I've also got spare bolts stored in my bank, spread between those gray bolt quivers, got 8 of those, and I've got 10 black ammunition pouches for when I want to use my ranged loadout. With this, I just swap my crossbow out for the Jaeger rifle. I have a ton of den XP, and so whenever I need a Jaeger rifle, I just go and claim one.